7 Biggest Betrayals in the History of Humankind. Number 1. Alfred Redl in Austria. Alfred Redl was an Austrian military officer who during World War I, sold sensitive information about the Austrian army to Tsarist Russia. Redl divulged the Austrian military's plan to invade Serbia, which the Russians in turn sold to Serbia. Apart from that, Redl exposed multiple Austrian agents to the Russians and fed wrong information to his own people about the opponent's military strength. Alfred Redl's betrayals contributed to the killings of more than 500,000 Austrians. Redl committed suicide shortly after the Austrian Secret Service found out that he was working as a spy for the Russians. Number 2. Wang Jingwei in China. It was the time of pre-communist China. China was under the threat of Japanese invasion. Wang Jingwei was a politician who always had arguments with famous Chinese leader Chiang Kai-shek over how to deal with the Japanese threat. The Japanese offered Jingwei an opportunity to make a puppet government in Nanking in return for conceding Nanking. Jingwei agreed, and in a radio address, he announced the concession. Just a year before the Japanese surrender, Jingwei died and was buried in Nanking. The Chinese ultimately regained control of Nanking when the war ended. They destroyed Jingwei's tomb and even burnt his remains for betraying them. He is without a doubt one of the most hated traitors in Chinese history. Number 3. Harold Paul Cole in Great Britain. During World War II, Harold Cole was the deputy commander of Scotland Yard. Cole is considered one of the worst traitors of the war. He disclosed secret information to the Nazis about the French resistance escape lines, which he himself had helped create. He also gave information about the locations of French resistance leaders to the Axis alliance. His betrayal resulted in the deaths of at least 150 people. The French police killed Cole in 1946. Number 4. Marcus Junius Brutus and Julius Caesar. The life of Julius Caesar, a well-known Roman general, came to end when Marcus Junius Brutus, his own nephew, plotted to assassinate him. People of Rome weren't happy with Caesar, and that's when Brutus joined the Roman Senate. Brutus, along with a few other senators, attacked Caesar and murdered him. Historians tell us that the last words that came out of Caesar's mouth were, Number 5. The Rosenbergs and the United States. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were a married American couple who had sympathies with the socialists. The couple spied for the Soviet Union, and during the height of the Cold War, they sold atomic secrets to them. Apart from giving atomic secrets, the couple recruited other spies for the Soviets. The couple was arrested in 1950 and charged with the conspiracy to commit espionage. After a long trial, they were sentenced to death by electric chair. Both were executed on June 19, 1953. Number 6. Mir Jafar in India. Now let's head towards the Indian subcontinent. In the mid-18th century, Mir Jafar was the head of Bengal's military. His ambitions, however, were much higher, and he always wanted to sit on the throne of Bengal. Jafar conspired with British forces in the Battle of Plassey. The East India Company forces led by Robert Clive and the Indian forces led by Oud's Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah fought the battle. Everyone thought that the Indian forces will win the battle easily because they greatly outnumbered the British. But thanks to Mir Jafar's betrayal, East India Company forces were victorious. Jafar didn't let his soldiers participate in the war and sat idly as the war waged. The Nawab kept waiting for Jafar's forces, but they never came. Indian forces suffered a terrible defeat and the British gained complete control of the Indian subcontinent. Number 7. Robert Hansen and Aldrich Ames. Currently serving 15 life sentences without parole at the ADX Florence Supermax prison in Colorado, Robert Hansen was an FBI counterintelligence agent. Hansen was convicted of betraying the United States by selling state secrets to the Soviet Union, now called the Russian Federation. Described as the worst intelligence disaster in U.S. history, Hansen started selling secrets shortly after joining the FBI. He received almost $1.4 million in cash and diamonds for the secrets. Apart from selling secrets, Hansen is also responsible for giving up the identity of a Soviet general, Dmitry Polyakov, who was secretly working for the United States. However, Polyakov wasn't arrested by the Soviets until another CIA counterintelligence agent, Aldrich Ames, told the Soviets about Polyakov's real identity. Ames too is serving life without parole in the Federal Correctional Institution in Terre Haute, Indiana. Please like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.